Okay, so next I'm going to show you how to manage your menu. So here you can go to menu. First, I would suggest starting with your categories to organize the skeleton of your menu. So here I've already started a skeleton of my own. So I have the main root, which is called menu, and you can decide to call that whatever you would like. Then you can put a brief description here. The subcategories, which I added already, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I can show you now how to quickly add a subcategory. I'll call this one appetizers. Let's just do apps for now. Okay, and save category. So you see, I had to highlight menu to make sure that apps came under the menu category. So if you go into the subsections, you can see I've also made subcategories within the subcategories, beverages, eggs. This way you've organized it so that when you're putting in your products, it's really simple. I'll show you the lunch one as well. Soups, specials. So that's pretty much how that works. Now, if you wanted to go ahead and manage your meals, which is your product, you'd go again to menu and manage meals. Here I've put some products here to kind of explain certain things. So for example, with the tea, I've put that already, but I'll show you how that works. So of course you want to enable the product, the name of the product, the price of the product. It's a taxable good, always make sure that's there. For quantity, I always put 100. If you don't put a quantity here, it will give you an out of stock status, and you don't want that. So it's in stock. Vendor categories, you can choose from here, which are your categories you've created already. I've put it under breakfast. Global categories, I always click all category. And then set product as new, that's completely up to you if you'd like to kind of feature it for a certain period of time here as a new product. So you just put that range there. The interesting part about this is the customizable options here at the bottom. So I'll show you, here's what allows you to let your customers choose how they would like their tea done, for example. So here, if you wanted to add an option, you'd click add an option and it would show up like this. Here I've put sugar. I've chosen a drop-down option, but you can choose different types. You can choose a field for text, a file. You can choose, let's see what else here. The drop-down, you can choose a checkbox. So for example, if you want them to be able to check off multiple options, you can choose that. But the one that I feel like makes the most sense for something where you want them to kind of give you an amount, I feel the drop down is the best. So for sugar, I pick drop down, and then I put 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if they want 1 sugar, they could click 1 sugar. Okay, so if you go down, I also have milk, same deal, honey, same deal. And so if you're adding options, you're just clicking add option, and then you're manually putting the title and picking the option type. Okay, so whenever you're done with adding a product, you just hit save to make sure it actually saves. Perfect. So let's go back to managing products, and I'll show you how else I've kind of put in different types. So for example, here's a lunch combo. I'm going to edit that to show you. So same deal, you're putting in all the different things you need to fill in, and then the customizable part. Here, this lunch special is basically you pick one item from each section and it comes up to $10.99 regardless. So here we haven't added prices to the options because they're not an additional charge. the consumer just has to pick one. So you pick the drop down. Drop down only allows you to pick one option. So I've created an option for protein, an option for carbs, and an option for veggies. And I've put the titles of the options there. If, for example, mashed potatoes was an extra charge, you would add $1 extra, and that would also show up. Okay? So that's how that works. So again, I'm just going to save so that I don't lose anything. Okay, great. So I'm going to go back to Manage Products. So for example, if you were to have a product where you wanted to give your customer the option to pick, okay, how do they want it done? For example, if it's eggs and you don't know if they want it done scrambled, if they want it sunny side up or whatever it may be, the drop down is a great option because again, they're going to be picking one of the options that you put. So you would again put the option like I'd shown you. Here we have a meat lover pizza. I'll show you that example as well. So on the meat lover pizza, it already has its toppings. But say you want to be able to give your customers the option to add more toppings. Again, you go to Customizable Options. Okay, when you are starting fresh, of course, you need to click on Add Option, but I've already started. I've called this option title Additional Toppings, and then I've put all the toppings there. And then here are the additional costs for having those toppings on the pizza. They're also there as well. I've also gone to give them an option for crust if they want thin crust, whole wheat, cheese crust, and then the additional prices to that. And then the added stuff, so like dipping sauce. Garlic sauce is 50 cents, jalapeno or cheese, right? For the added, I pick the checkbox, that way they can choose multiple options. They don't just have to choose the one. So if you play around with that, you'll be able to pretty much configure your menu exactly as you would like it. I'll just hit save. Perfect. So if I go back to Manage Products, here you see approval. So basically TalkFood always approves each of the items that you put on just to make sure that it's correct. Say for example, if you had like a spelling error or something was incorrect or seemed a little off, we wouldn't approve it right away just to make sure that you don't accidentally post something you don't want to post. But it happens very quickly. So all of them here have been approved and they would all show on my catalog.